Sa lahat po ng kanyang tinulungan, pinagpaaral, sinagip, at kinautangan. Hindi po kayo niya kinalimutan. At hanggang sa kanyang pagtanda at paglaon, ang karamihan po ng kanyang mga alaala at ipinangaral sa kanyang mga apo at kaibigan dito sa Amerika ay ukol sa inyo. Ang taus-puso ko na ay pasasalamat sa inyo lahat. Ang kanyang asawang si Elizabeth, lahat kaming magkakapatid, mga apo at ako sa tuhod, ang kanyang iniwan para siya ay ibing dito sa Memorial Oaks, sa Houston, Texas, sa ika-13 ng Hunyo, 2013. Salamat po sa inyo lahat. When I was growing up in the Philippines, there were 2 days, it was 2 weeks out of the year that my brothers and I totally dreaded. And that was Fiesta and Dad's birthday. The 2 weeks before each of those days was crazy. Why? Because these were the 2 periods in the year when the outside kitchen and the inside kitchen were full of livestock. Livestock. To be slaughtered for these 2 occasions. We had chickens in the kitchen, pigs, goats, turkeys in the backyard. One year someone even brought a whole cow. And yes, they were all delicious. On top of dealing with all these animals, there are bushels and bushels of fresh fruit and vegetables, all to be prepared and consumed by the guests in the coming days. And no, we didn't have AC. Imagine the smell just for a minute, if you can. We had a refrigerator, but no match for everything that was strewn on the kitchen floor. As I got a little older, my nanny explained why this was happening. And no, it wasn't because people wanted our house to stink, or that they had extra chickens that they wanted to get rid of. These are all gifts. Yep, gifts. Brought by farmers and folks from towns and barrios who owed Dad something. Not sure what it was, and it didn't really matter. I remember they would sneak into the side entrance of the house. Anybody that's been to the house in Nepal would know. They would come to the side entrance of the house, leave their goodies, and try to take off without being noticed. If you asked them their names, they would say it wasn't important, that it didn't matter who they were. They would say, just make sure to give this to Doctor and tell him happy birthday. That's all they would say. And then they would run. I mean, literally, run. Because they were scared to death of having a conversation with my mom. They all called her Kana, which is short for Americana or American girl. So, why did I choose this memory to remember my dad? Because when he and I would go on these long trips together, which Joe explained to me recently why he did this, he basically brought a mechanic with him because in case he had car trouble, somebody would change the tire. That was my purpose in life. But when we would go on these long trips to visit his patients in the barrios, these were people who never came back after he treated them, after he performed surgery on them. Whether it was after being hit by a bus, which happens all the time, if you all remember back home. People get run over by buses all the time, or fall off a tree or a cliff and broke their bones and their ribs. But Dad explained to me that they dared not come back into the city because they were afraid of getting handed the bill that they knew they couldn't pay. So he went to them. Who does anything like this, right? He knows he's not going to get paid. Sometimes they wouldn't even open the door to their one-room houses because they thought he was hand delivering the bill. You know, yeah, if you won't come to town, I'll take it to you. Or maybe even an order from the court. Only after explaining for several minutes that he just wanted to see how the wounds were coming along would they let us in. And after checking on his patient, he wouldn't accept anything from the family except a glass of tap water. After a few of these trips over the years and in between weekend hangovers, which y'all know me, I asked my dad why he did these things. And his answer was, because he had way, way more than he needed. And they had less than he had. That's all. He explained to me how he met many of my grandfather's constituents as a young boy and how they always struggled in life. He liked to remind me how lucky I was with all that I had and how these folks didn't ask for any handouts. Too proud and convinced that one day they too would be returning the favor. But twice a year, on his birthday and for fiesta, the very same folks would set aside whatever it was that they grew or raised at great cost to their meager farming income to give as gifts to my dad. And to that, my dad would say to me, see, it's not that they didn't want to pay. It's just that they can't. And if you find a way, they'll find a way. And therein lies the hand of God. I started my eulogy in Tagalog because this is how I remember my grandfather's death was announced when I was a child. And because my dad felt that he was put on this earth to help and to show the rest of us how to help. Those who Jesus saved and inherit heaven and the earth. He lived to serve. And as such, we must send out the word to all the folks back home who I'm sure remember him. And remind them of the lives that he changed and affected. For those of you who didn't understand the thing I said when I started this, it reads something like this. We would like to inform the citizens of the greater city of Lipa in the province of Batangas of the passing of Dr. Celestine Di Mayuga, son of the late Congressman Jose Di Mayuga, and brother to the late Attorney Celso and Tony Di Mayuga, brother of Dr. Aldeni Di Mayuga and Attorney Romeo Di Mayuga, and the late Engineer Cardeng Di Mayuga. To all our friends, relatives, and all the servants of the church in the barrios of Lubog, Rosario, San Jose, Mataas na Kahoy, San Tomas, Tanawan, Taan, Lemerick, Cuenca, Pinagtungkulan, Calatagan, Marawi, and to all those churches and villages and barrios that my dad frequented to help the poor in the church. Your servant is now in the presence of his master. On his journey to meet his Creator, we respectfully ask that you pray for his soul and keep him in your intentions when you light the candles in the cathedral. To all the strangers he helped, to those whose education he paid for, those who he cured and rescued from near and certain death, and to all those to whom he owes a huge debt of gratitude for all that he did, for all that you did for his children. We would like you all to know that he never forgot you, and how his stories and conversations with friends, relatives, and especially his grandchildren revolved and were about you. we extend our heartfelt thanks to you. His wife Elizabeth, all of his children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren are the ones left behind to put him in his final resting place here at Memorial Oak Cemetery in Houston, Texas, tomorrow, the 13th of June, 2013. Thank you. May God bless you all, and may God bless us all, my day.